Welcome back, everyone. We're going to take a look at how you all are staying plugged in to the action here. Earlier in the broadcast, we asked, how do you LCS? At KP Beach is making the tough decision. She writes, study for college or LCS?
Well, hopefully both. I feel like school's fairly important, but yeah, it's the weekend, so you should be fine. Watch all the games. It's a whole bunch of fun.
And then, of course, there are two ways to beat a cold, chicken soup and the LCS. So at Milkfish says, watching the LCS, feeling sick but comfy with Barry Nasher.
That's a pretty psychedelic little chair there they got going behind him.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that photo. Our next tweet comes from at Justin Kaysen, who is using the LCS, to train the next generation of summoners with Bring Your Daughter to the Rift Day.
It's going to be a few years till she's LCS eligible, but hopefully, we got a new star mid laner coming up.
You got to start him young.
Of course.
And then our final tweet comes from at Nanners, who is watching the LCS with man's best friend, who looks to be chaosing the screen a little bit. This is how I try to LCS.
It's not chaosing. You get 6 stacks for that.
NASA's backdooring the monitor here in this one. So.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, keep sharing those photos on Twitter by sending them to @LullySports and use the hashtag LCS. As we send it over to Riv and Kobe to get us into the game, Team Liquid are excited to have world champion Piglet joining the roster. And before he's even stepped onto the LCS stage, he's already got the respect of his fellow AD carries.
The offseason was really hectic for a lot of teams. For us, we changed not only our name, but we also changed out 2 players.
We're always known as Curse, and now it's going to be Team Liquid. It's going to take a long time for us to get used to a new tag, and also the fans as well.
Voyboy left, we have Phoenix now, and we also lost Cop, and we now have Piglet. And these are 2 really big changes, different languages, different culture, and we're a different team.
팀 리퀴드 선수들이 장난칠 때는 장난도 아주 잘 치지만 또 대회에 대한 진지한 게 있어가지고 이번 팀이 굉장히 기대가 됩니다.
Piglet is more familiar name. He's a world champion.
Piglet is a super valuable asset to our team. He's a hard carry AD who, if he's strong enough, he'll almost always carry the team fight. Cobb was more of like a safe AD carry, and Piglet's the direct opposite of that. When he walks into bot lane, someone's dying. It's either him or it's the person across from him.
Piglet is a really smart player. He's a really strong, smart decision maker. I think that's what helped him win Season 3 Worlds.
When I watched SKT on the analyst desk and they won the World Championship, I was just like, damn, this guy is very good. I did practice against him when we were boot camping in Korea. He's like super good. I will just say that outright. Like, he's super good. He's possibly just the best AD outright in North America. I think every player in North America is envious of a world champion. So we'll just have to see, because that was in the past. I don't really care too much about that. I just want to know what happens now.
I'm really excited to see how well Piglet and I can do. I think we have a lot of talent under our belt. We have a lot of experience as well. I think we can easily just knock out a lot of these other teams.
And unfortunately, we won't get to see all this awesome of Piglet coming out today, but it is a huge potential spot for Liquid to grab Piglet, have this work out for the team, and if he can bring still that level of play he had at Worlds, that's big stuff.
And the guy they brought in, Keith, has done an excellent job so far.
Picking up Kog'Maw, first one. But up next, it's Team Liquid versus Counterlogic Gaming. It's a showdown of 2 undefeated teams. But for one, their perfect record will end right here.
Yep, CLG defeated Team 8, and while it may not have been that pretty, they did get the job done, thanks in part to a ridiculously good champion select. It's probably the most power picks that I've ever seen on a single team. Once in-game, they were a little bit scattered, but individually, they came up with some strong plays to compensate. Link on Lissandra had some really big initiations, and Benny proved himself to still be a solid LCS-level top lane tank player. And after that game, we did hear Doublelift in his interview saying just how much he hates to lose and how he has been pushing himself really hard so that CLG can actually answer some of their critics. So count on him to keep bringing that same intensity to each game.
Maybe he's back into that I'm going to smash some faces role, but a little more reserved so he doesn't get himself in trouble. I believe that's the phrase people are looking for. And to contrast CLG's victory, Team Liquid played a methodical game against Team Impulse.
Yeah, their win was pretty much the most impressive win When you consider how many teams have actually been grumbling about that lack of practice time with their full rosters, Team Liquid, they had very little time with their sub, but you wouldn't have guessed it by watching them play. They actually showed confidence in their substitute player, Keith, by designing an entire team comp around protecting him and setting him up for success. We also have to point out, of course, I Will Dominate, who brought a lot of early game pressure to his lanes. He is the captain of the team, and he was able to counter jungle the enemy's movements, and he had 3 kills by the 12-minute mark already on Rush. One of them was the first blood as well.
Yep. For more on Team Liquid, let's throw it down to Jat, who's with one of the team's owners.
Thank you, Riven. Yes, I'm with the co-owner of Liquid, Steve Liquid Aronset, if you wouldn't believe it. I do want to talk to you really quickly, though, about the change from Curse to Team Liquid. Why did that go down?
You know, I've been running this team for like 5 years. I actually played on the team. I think when we used to play together, it's kind of funny. But when the decision came to not continue with a Curse Inc. title sponsorship, I had a few options. I could have decided to rebrand the team, you know, new logo, look and feel. I could have decided to find a new title sponsorship for the team, or find an organization that kind of just gelled with not having an LCS presence. So Team Liquid was just the obvious choice.
And obviously the jackets and stuff look great as well. Amazing. Tons of compliments there. I do want to talk a little bit about more of the changes as well, though. Phoenix and Piglet are new to the team, and there were some murmurs that Piglet wasn't necessarily fitting in that well. You guys did the great Christmas for Piglet video that people can check out online. Just how are they fitting in the gaming house now, especially Phoenix as he's here?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it was pretty rough at the start. You know, I think it was the first time Piglet has actually been out of the country into the United States. So it was tough for him. It was emotional. We have translators. We didn't have the best translators at the start, so there was like things lost in communication. The team was kind of not doing so hot in the beginning when we started. So it was just an emotional toll. So it was rough. But I think actually Quest Nutrition, who did the video, they kind of identified that and they said, hey, let's go over to the house, let's like just do something really awesome and cool for Piglet. And I think that kind of just showed him like, we just care, man. Like, we care about you. And I think things are starting to turn around. I mean, we only had 1 day of scrims before LCS, so that was kind of rough, but yeah, things are turning around. We'll see.
And obviously you guys look great after 1 day of scrims yesterday, especially with Piglet going to be coming in next week for the season. What are your expectations like with this new Team Liquid?
You know, expectations, there's a lot of things that are different about this split compared to last split. Last split, we kind of had a group of players that didn't really... Sorry, my HTC phone is ringing.
Well, that's... Sometimes it happens. Maybe you turn on phone. We can move on. We can move on. It was a good answer. I'll move on to the next question, though. Final question for you. With substitute players obviously coming in heavily for week 1 and Keith performing well, what is your feeling on the substitutes in general and Keith's performance this week?
You know, Keith played out of his mind yesterday. So, I mean, we have substitute players for that very reason. You know, if the players get ill or something happens or visa issues. So, you know, I'm just hoping for the best. I have all the confidence in him and just excited for Piglet next week. So he's official. He'll be here next week. So that's great.
Good to hear. Looking forward to the future of Team Liquid. Always mute your phone when you're doing an interview. Let's send it back to Riv at the desk.
Thank you very much, Jack. Welcome back to League of Legends by Riot Games. Let's check out the starting lineups. On the blue side, we do have Team Liquid. In the top lane, that's going to be Quas. I Will Dominate the jungle. Phoenix in mid. Keith at AD carry. And Xpecial at support.
And on the red side, it's Counter Logic Gaming with Benny up top, Smithy in the jungle, Link at mid, Double Lift AD carry, and Aframu on support.
So looking at what we kind of saw Liquid do yesterday, they did set her up around the sub. Is that kind of the harder thing to do when you're kind of bringing one sub into the team? Do you kind of say, we're going to play as a team, follow us? Or is it easier to play around the sub?
So first of all, they have a lot of confidence in Keith, as they said. He's a really strong AD carry player. Actually, even Double Lift specifically, who he's playing against right now, yesterday in the interview said that he's always had a lot of respect for Keith. So not only did it show that they have confidence in him, but if you set someone up with so many buffs, then it's very easy for them to succeed towards the later stages of the game.
To the picks and bans. And it's ice cold so far. Nunu getting taken away from Dominate, Benny, or Link. Neither of them seeing Lissandra on this one. Janna will also be banned out here.
Never
so
noticed they
pretty
have the
targeted.
exact same hairdo.
Who is that?
Lissandra and Janna.
I don't know if Lissandra
Different
has
colors.
hair. It's like a structure on her head.
Okay. It is a helmet.
It's like an
right?
apparatus.
All right.
I don't know. It protects her from the cold, obviously.
Obviously.
Gnar, no Quas. No Quas. You will not get Gnar this game. Just too much of a beast. Coach, we see, still in the ears of all of the players, letting them know, if this is banned, we might have to focus on a completely different strategy this game. And I'm sure both teams are coming to the table with more than one. This is going to be a great matchup. Like we said, they're about to, one of the records is going to get tarnished here. Both teams with a win, and one of them was about.
Yeah. All right. So Rumble and Aurelia still up for the top lane. All junglers. Oh, okay.
There's
Rek'Sai
Rek'Sai,
not
yeah.
out. So all junglers, Sans, Rek'Sai. Jarvan, pretty obvious first pick there. Doesn't give away anything for the team. Jarvan is a very flexible champion. Can even go to a mid lane or a top lane. There's the Rumble that I was talking about. Aurelia still is available. Should we run into him? But Rumble plus Sivir, pretty strong team fight so far already. And the thing is, taking away one of those parts, Rumble or Jarvan, is actually really big. Everyone's worried about this Gnar plus Jarvan combo. That's the new hotness. But originally, Jarvan's main top lane combo was with Rumble.
Yeah.
Jarvan plus Rumble is the original team fight smashing combo. Keep everybody in the Cataclysm for the Rumble ult. So the CLG take away half of that game plan. And Team Liquid look to fill it in with some AoE stun here. Initiation from Annie.
Keep keeping it safe. Sticks with a bit of range in his champion. Kog'Maw yesterday, Caitlyn today. We'll see if he fares just as well here against Doublelift in the bottom lane, who does get Sivir. Sivir has been quite a high priority pick coming into compositions lately. Oh, yes, the Blitzcrank! Fantastic. A little flavor added to this game, and Aframu is going to turn it into Hook City so far.
I love it. No hesitation.
Right? He's boop.
Immediate Blitzcrank for the very quick pulls into silence. So we'll see what Aframu can do. This also opens up a lot of early game moves.
Yeah.
As everybody is aware, Blitzcrank extremely strong in level 1 abilities. So we'll see if there's any kind of shenanigans as far as level 1 invades, trying to stop side camp taking, stealing away side camps from junglers even while they're trying to do them early. Many, many possibilities with this. Also, Xsmithy's Rengar. It has been talked about quite often, so very happy to see that comboed with a Sivir. Makes Rengar's life much easier, pretty much guaranteeing his later game ultimates.
Ooh. Azir has been on the ban list quite a bit today, and Renekton's going to go in the hands of Quas, something he's quite used to in that top lane throughout his play.
Azir is huge when you've got a team with Rengar on it, so facing against the Rengar team, it's going to be a lot up to Azir to push them back initially. The Sivir charging Rengar squad will have to have quick reaction speed because if they get enough damage onto him, Bola Strike lands, Azir can't even move, and they could take him out with longer range damage like Rumble Ultimate. So we'll see how quick Phoenix fingers are.
Yeah, well, he's forced to right now blind pick that, so he doesn't get much out of it. Picks the safe Azir. Phoenix, you'll be doing well in the mid lane. Now it's for Link. Link, what do you want? LeBlanc is still up.
I'd like to see him on something with some kill potential. They've already got Sivir, Rengar, and Rumble. So they have charge forward, and they also have that long-range Rumble ultimate. So here we go. This would be good. There's some kill potential for you.
Yeah.
LeBlanc, quick in and out.
Yeah. Ahri not as much today. Saw her a bit yesterday. No Ahri's today. Azir versus LeBlanc will be the mid lane here. Team Liquid versus Counterlogic Gaming. The teams have now completely panned out. What are you looking at towards the early game? We see we have the Blitzcrank. Do you think there'll be that invade?
I am definitely going to look at the level 1 shenanigans as far as side camps are concerned.
Okay.
Because there's so many options. Renekton can try and be greedy. He can start a side camp. Duo lanes can always start side camps, but Aframu could wreck everyone's plans. So the early wards will be very interesting. The other thing I'm going to be looking at early game is Jarvan plus Renekton combo. That is an age-old, brutal Brash Bows combo.
Yeah.
That has always been hard to deal with. Rengar is the perfect counter ganker, though, even early on. So we'll see how Smithy works around, dominates moves.
We're seeing a little more life in the NA Rengars here, a bit better of results as well. Looking at as they come out of picks and bans, Phoenix does stick on that barrier, afraid of getting assassinated out of the mid lane by that Rengar maybe earlier, just at the 6. So he's going to go ahead and pick safety over being able to kill Link, obviously with the Ignite, the kill potential that CLG was looking for. It's going to be a great game. The initiation of Annie is back in. We've seen that be a high priority pick lately for teams to have something to do. If that game stalls out, you have an Annie with a flash, you have something you can do. Easily get into that and get a gank going. We want to know who you think will come out of Champ Select with the winning comp. Tweet hashtag TLWin or hashtag CLGWin to @LOL Esports. We'll tally those votes throughout the broadcast, and maybe we'll look at some later as well. The crowd again ready here for Game 3 on day 2. One of these teams about to get a loss on their record. You cheer loud for your team, so it won't be theirs. We are on to the Rift. It's Team Liquid versus Counterlogic Gaming.
Oh, yes. All right, so right off the bat, I do want to talk a little bit about support starting itemization. People haven't really been talking about it.
Yeah.
Taking that 1 mana potion is actually quite a big deal for both Blitz and Annie. Not only do they have the Biscuit upgrade to give them some, but both of them taking the mana potions as well, because it's all about who can land those spells, and if Blitzcrank runs out of mana in lane, then he is a non-factor. Both teams with the early level 1 invades, as we expected some stuff to go down. Just so happens they are on opposite sides of the map, though. Pretty much mirrored the vision that they're looking for.
Yep.
I believe the one deep one from Liquid, though, was seen by CLG. The ping's on the top side there, so both of these teams looking for the lane swap potential. Keep just out of range there. The Sivir and Blitzcrank would get destroyed by Caitlyn, Annie.
You just have to stand behind minions and all the auto attack.
Even Double Lift and Aframu, who are very, very well known for running duo lanes into pretty much anything. Not really a big fan of that matchup. So they're going top. They will be seen by the Ward. Team Liquid going to answer top. Well, it looks like it. Annie's up top. Actually, Caitlyn down bottom.
Yeah, she actually kept that. It looked like Keith was trying to play a trick and say, look, I'm actually backing on the ward I just saw you place. But they're going to stick with it and give them the lane that they wanted. So CLG will not have to match up. Interesting.
So some people really don't like laning against Blitzcrank just for the off chance of those kills. But
giving Afro the credit.
We'll have to see here. In the lane swap, both of those are very dangerous supports. Blitzcrank roaming around early, very, very high kill potential. Same thing with Annie. Will charge her stun up in the lane before heading out for the roam, and then try and meet up with the double jungle squad. So far, the CLG double jungle are actually doing their own work. Benny all by his lonesome, doing the wolf camp. And Smithy taking care of the topside jungle without the red. Interesting move there. He's waiting for the smite to come back off cooldown. If you smite that red, you'll gain a large chunk of health back. This means he does not probably want to go back to base very early on this time around. And we will see where he moves after red smite here. Oh, we don't get to see the giant health gain.
They did it to you on purpose.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, look, it happened.
Right. Level if he gets level 3, and I don't think he's going to find anything up top. Maybe expecting Quas to go up there early. We have seen some top laners do that and make a mistake, but not this time.
Yeah. So the thing is, I've actually been playing a lot of Rengar recently too. If you smite the Krugs, you will save more health by stunning the red buff when you do it than you would gain back by smiting the actual red buff. The buff that you get from Krugs to stun camps, especially Rengar, who has an auto attack reset, he really benefits from that. If you are worried about jungling with Rengar and getting low, you definitely want to get that Krug smite.
Well, looks like he actually had it forward as well. We could see the stun going down onto that red as he was fighting it.
Picks up the crab, gains ferocity and health back while doing it. Crab is Rengar's best friend.
Oh. Not going to see him.
Dominate is definitely
right
not Rengar's
behind.
best friend, and he is deep in enemy territory. If Dominate crosses over the crab, then Smithy would be in trouble. However, people are really scared of crossing the crab. Special has a stun.
Yep, that's a lock. That's going to be the turnaround as well from Dominate. He's going to try to go on Smithy. He's got to do as much damage as he can before he goes down.
Kill.
A valiant attempt. First blood going over to Special, roaming around in his own jungle.
So
thank you very much.
This is why in lane swaps, the duo very, very often starts in the enemy jungle. Clears that first and then returns to their own jungle towards the end of the path. But we've seen a lot this week, actually. Many teams, even with lane swaps, starting on their own sides. Smithy here, very bold recall to recall in the middle of the enemy jungle after you see the Annie already recall from bottom lane. You gotta know that they're roaming around. Mid lane, though, Phoenix using that Azir poke fairly effectively.
Oh, I thought for a second he was going to shifting sands because Link walked right onto that soldier that he had up. But I guess not enough mana. Almost gets the kill out of that Arise, though.
And remember, Phoenix does not have Ignite since he's really scared about the LeBlanc Rengar combo at 6 popping him. So he does not have the Ignite to use in lane for a kill himself.
Quite a long time for Dominate to really get anything going for himself here, but it's the roam with the team. He's not even on Trailblazer yet. He's not too far behind either. Still picking up CS to keep it even, giving Smithy quite a bit to think about as he doesn't have much jungle to pick up for himself. That's going to activate the ward. They're not going to be able to get much out of it.
I don't know why he was so scared of that, of using that Raptor proc. They just forced LeBlanc back to base. Crowd said it all right there. Don't need to add anything. That was perfect commentary. Keith having a pretty good time here down bottom.
Gotta watch out for that 6. Over to Benny real quick.
Notice what Benny's doing too. Anytime you're in a melee range matchup, one of the most frustrating things, especially for people who don't really main top lane, hug the bushes on the side, poke in and out of the bushes as the melee, use them completely to your advantage to try and even up the range discrepancy. Aframu coming in again.
Oh, he walked into it! The Vide Games. He gets out. It's safe. Nothing too big has to be expended there for Quas's safety, and they do get a little bit of knowledge that Aframu is not on the roam anymore. So top lane backing here, double lift, looking down at the inventory, just 53, pretty much even for both lanes as they haven't had too much trouble from the junglers coming into gank. But the blue buff steal, nicely going over there. They're not steal, give.
Secure.
Secure, thank you.
There we go. Benny doing, once again, a very strong job coming in as a sub. Lane swap situation. Sometimes you get kind of rusty dealing with those after not being competitive for a long time. Done very well from himself, scavenging that CS against the Caitlyn, who is fairly poke heavy. Special returning back to the lane though does force him off for a bit. Lane swap here at level 6 for double lift, moving back down bottom.
Whoa.
They want to position their teleports back up top.
That was nice.
Trading going on. Level 6 mids means that there could be some very, very scary action as well. Smithy working towards that Rengar ult. Once he gets that, mid lane Azir, even with the barrier, will have to watch himself.
A lot of damage he has to deal with right now. Items almost finished up for Benny here, so he can be a problem within team fights around objectives. Link, very nicely done. Not really expending too much mana from each other as they have their blue buffs, but they're getting a lot more aggression down than we saw before. Link not really going to get too much roam here. Maybe a ward clear. If he keeps going down, it's pretty much a tell. But with the amount of crowd control, no kill coming. Nope, he's going to head back towards mid lane. No need to try and go crazy. Game's already 1 kill in favor of Team Liquid. Have that on special, so it's not giving anybody too much of an advantage.
Yeah, and definitely have your eyes on Smithy because his level 6 is ready. Level 6 plus red buff as well. Will have a high impact gank. Looks like he's even saving his smite, or he wants to wait for his smite to come back up. So he's going to wait for the smite cooldown because he did get an early stalkers. So he's going to have smite available for whoever he goes after as well as the red buff and level 6. putting a lot of eggs in this basket. And the thing about Rengar is it's so hard to counter gank him because his ult, not only does it allow him to go invisible and sneak into a lane, but it also reveals everyone around. With that seeking infrared vision. He's going bottom though. All right, so Annie will probably be the target. Keith is going to do his best to save him. Looks like Annie's positioning herself well though, so Smithy may have to change his mind. Afromu does not have flash back up, by the way, because he used it mid, so Blitzcrank follow-up will be a little bit less easy for him.
Trying to make plays, though. Definitely not something they're short on. Good damage coming from Phoenix. Neither of them have really been able to go back after finishing that Phoenix Codex. So you can see they're stuck to these lanes, realizing how equal it is. Here's the play finally on the hunt. That's a few shots out. Xpecial says, I may give myself up, but no, that's one. The flash goes down. Like you said, already smited out. They're trying to turn this one around with a few shots of their own here, but they're still up against 3. Dominate just on the outside.
Teleports.
Link, you can see him on the wing, and indeed, the TPs come in at the same time. Quas will be there. I think Benny got a cancel on his, so let's see how they work this one.
Very half-hearted Rengar gank right there. Looks like everyone gets chased off, and Link behind enemy lines. See how he gets out of this situation.
Yeah.
Rumble canceled his teleport, by the way, so Benny
I was going to say, Team Liquid, they almost have to make something work on this, because Benny's getting what he wants. Whoa! Link trying to be Houdini right now, but they lock him down. This was the water trick, the one that ended it all.
A lot of Uzanas coming up. Did take a good distortion back, but did not have another available. Team Liquid lock him down. Should be able to secure Dragon. And really good that they did that too, because if Link had just stayed in that bush behind Red Buff and recalled from right there, Team Liquid would be out a lot of top lane pressure.
That was really nicely done. So they do make something happen, realizing that it was just getting too much of a loss if Benny were going to have top lane to himself, which he's still doing. Rumble obviously not the quickest at taking down turrets. And Dragon in that fight already happened, and he'll be taking it down shortly after. So 2 kills as another one comes out of that onto Link. He was really a big carry for the team last time. They all played well, but definitely a bright spot, and now he's not having that same game.
Yeah, and it was a sort of a tough decision for him to make because he was unsure if they were going to do Dragon after that or if they were rotating up to the mid lane. So he went for the more risky play, trying to count on the rest of the members of Team Liquid actually going after a different objective, but because they all wanted that mid lane pressure, Link put himself in a poor situation. He does have completed Morellonomicon though, so they are even on items. Won't manifest itself anytime soon.
Looking to see if they can get anything on to CLG for kills. Rengar's in the top lane, so it's not going to be having much. Actually, just backing, so maybe as he comes back out, a few more wards at least, a few vision wards on top of his 1 pink. So CLG can stave off any entrance into their jungle. Already warded in by Team Liquid on that bottom side, so if they want to go a little harder, especially Keith can do so. A lane that worked out very well here with the sub. Not built around Keith as much this time, but still playing it safer on the map, knowing they aren't going to take control. Yeah, so he does go down towards the bottom.
Goes to the notice that he goes through the lane, doesn't even enter from his own jungle.
No.
Well,
great ward.
It's going to be seen.
There you go.
Has the Raptor buff so that you will be able to see that. The only thing is, just being seen like that is enough to make the bottom lane play a lot safer. And he's going to hold on to her stun now. So the turnaround is really scary for Smithy. At this point, pretty much all junglers build full damage because everybody rushes the warrior enchant. So rushing into a level 6 Annie bottom lane, even though it's a support Annie, is still scary for Rengar.
Blanc Azir matchup. Not exactly going to either side. 112 to 102 so far. And Link is being stopped on any roam that he would want to put onto the team and relieve pressure. Smithy, however, looks like he's going to be right in the backside of Link here. Dominating Quas, not choosing to go over the wall. Thought they might try to do something with Phoenix, but not going to happen. They play it safe. They are, however, going to push this mid turret and try to get something out of it. Bottom's already starting to rotate up, at least Special is. And this mid turret should start to open up the map finally.
Smithy takes a lot of poke there on the retreat.
Great use
like
of
everyone
Sundis.
collapses though. They do have a Sivir ultimate available. Don't decide to pop it though. Smithy extremely low. And those pesky Azir turrets.
Remember, those stacking up will be changed, but they will count so far on the sheet. So that'll say 2 when he takes it down, but still 1-to-1 in turrets.
Cash money.
And he's now going to get his lane pushing into him. So Link will be able to push that, get a little more roam on for himself. Maybe we'll see CLG starting to get together a little bit and use the power that they have.
Also known as the deeper wards that Team Liquid put when they're facing a Rengar. They want to put it further back so they can see Rengar when he starts his ultimate. That's the best scenario. If you can stay in lane, play aggressive, have Rengar come up, and then as soon as you see him head towards your lane, pop the ult, make him waste the cooldown. Uh-oh. Whoa! Got him!
The Ignite!
Almost.
Oh, doesn't have Ignite. That was the Morello Namakan on the barrier. He wishes he brought Ignite now. Man, that was
couple of
close.
times now, you know. Smithy hasn't even tried to go mid on the Azir.
So huge play by Phoenix, not afraid to go hard on the mid lane solo. It looks like we'll be seeing that out of him for the rest of the season. He actually got a hit off, but he was already teleported out of there.
Benny scaling up fairly well too. He's got his 2 main magic penetration items ready for the team fight. Renekton's going full tank for the beginning here. Wants to be that front line for the team.
Oh, it's used. It works. It's a good ward to be in clearing anyways. You always love it when somebody just puts a ward right in front of you. Right as you get the buff, you have to clear the ward. Such BM. Pink wards defensively placed now by Chronologic Gaming to make sure the buffs are theirs. Be imperative for Link to be able to get those distortion cooldowns faster with the blue buff.
All right, we're approaching the point in the game where Team Liquid have to be fairly careful about positioning. Top turret down, bottom turret down. There's a lot more room for this Sivir squad of CLG to work with. They're all about getting the jump on somebody. You don't even have to be far out of position. You just have to be a little bit separated from the team. And the Sivir plus Rengar LeBlanc will jump on you. And from that, they'll try and chain kills.
They'll do what to you, Kobe? They'll jump on you, kind of like that? Oh, the equalizer. Quas delivered the red carpet, forced the flash. The turnaround could be there. Special was looking for that just over the shoulder. The grab of Aframu misses. That was a lot of ultimates expended there by CLG, and Phoenix and the rest of the team feeling pretty confident about moving in on this one. The equalizer was really the thing that would have given CLG the upper hand in this tight dragon area. It looks like Team Liquid is thinking twice about this once again. They're going to start piling together, knowing that spreading thin there in the river was getting scary.
So that was the main tank that CLG caught out. So that meant that they weren't able to kill their target. However, they did get the front line to half-life before Dragon Spawn. Quash trying to go back and gain.
Stun actually doesn't lock. Azir grab. There's Emperor's Divide. That's going to be big damage. They take down Smithy, but it was Phoenix dropping right before. Here come the shots. Keith trying to focus down on Link. That was a headshot. Can he get one more? Peacemaker making peace throughout the land, and it looks like Benny's going to get out with his life here. The crowd's loving it. Team Liquid pulling it to 5-1 now, and most likely this dragon.
Everyone can see the reason why Team Liquid had so much faith in Keith as their substitute AD carry as well. Beautiful cleanup right there. They annihilate Smithy before Phoenix even went down at the same time. All right, that will mean that they get to get the dragon, claim the spoils of that fight, and shove out all the waves as well. So let's take a look how it happened again here. Initially it was Link, who got stunned up by Expectral, and a fairly large chunk of burst. Dominate did not get the Q off after the E. All right. Oh, that's what it was. The Azir panic immediate ultimate after he got hooked in tagged Smithy. Smithy jumped out of the bush and bounced over there though. So Keith, that was the beautiful flash over after that I was talking about, cleaning up Link there.
This is interesting.
You can't take him. He's going around.
You know what sound that blue makes? So slow now.
He's not far enough away from his home
to run.
So he's not in any rush to get back to work here. He has no meetings to get to.
No.
Just sort of lounging about. Nice Sunday afternoon.
It is, though. It is. That'll put a hinder on things for a while. Just about 5 minutes. So we see the invade here as very deep wards are being placed in by CLG. They want this comp to work. Smithy and Aframu, 2 bros looking to get a grab. Whoever gets hit up there is going to be silenced and stuck in place for quite a bit of time and probably dead before they can make it out. Nothing's going to come of it. They tried to set up the trap. And
teleport.
That's the teleport. I don't think they wanted to do that as early as they did. Xpecial could have gotten a better lockdown for Quas's timing, and Xpecial gets grabbed in. That's the ability now at this point in the game that CLG has to just pop someone instantly.
That's what we were talking about in Champ Select, the immediate Blitzcrank lock-in right after Annie.
Yeah.
It's the grab into silence. Bursts her down. She is fairly squishy. Grab number 2 misses, and Phoenix!
Oh, Phoenix right in the middle of the fight with shifting sands. 2 kills to each side, but that's 3 down now overall for Team Liquid as they are trying to stave off the damage to this bottom inner turret. Looks like CLG doesn't have the means to clear anymore, or the safety. They're gonna go ahead and take this. A little nice getaway.
I love how we're consistently seeing more and more champions with these knockbacks that people are trying to pull off the quote-unquote insect moves with. We've seen Robert Exley trying to do it with Tristana, jumping in.
Yep.
Now we're seeing a lot of Azir players go for the move as well. Very squishy Azir, though, and he does not have Zhonya's yet. We see a lot of Azirs get Zhonya's. It's fairly early in the game for that, though.
That was a manly play.
And he got 2. He had to burn his flash for it, and his ultimate, and his life for it.
Oh my god.
But that's the type of play that you'll see more often when they do get to complete something like Azanya's. Right now, he's not even going for one, so he'll consistently have to be in the middle of the fight after for that one. Special laughing at Aframu. Drop a bear on him.
Keith, that Infinity Edge isn't messing around. A lot of damage coming out, especially with some good lockdown. Dominate, actually, pretty good chuck the flag down to get some assist there, but no need. They're doing great right now.
They took 5% off of the crit from Infinity Edge, too.
Yeah.
Keith got the one that he needed, though.
Still stings.
Aframu. Double Lift, by the way, has been sitting on this Avarice Blade for quite some time. 370 gold earned from it so far.
Mankin.
Still charging up. Very popular silver build now to turn that into Ghost Blade.
That's such a fantastic ability.
Well, now he's got a turret, but he's cornered.
He does actually have his ult back up. It doesn't take that long. Can he get the kill here? He's got Dominate. He actually pulls himself to safety in this one with Shifting Sands. Turns around and gets the double kill with the assist from Dominate on that one.
Ooh. The next level Azir baits. I'm all by myself under this turret,
Phoenix
guys.
on fire right now.
Got some backup, nice. Got some backup there just in time. Dominate comes to save the day.
The Shifting Sands flash into Divide play, now to this, just, he's got to feel good. And he's making the moves because he's feeling that way.
Smithy barely avoided it. Link took so many hits from that Azir turret, though, that he did enough to spread up the team. Look how much control over the battlefield Azir just brings to the team.
Right.
Not only has he set up this outpost, he's got this watchtower in the middle of the enemy territory, but then he also can cut your team in half with the ultimate, spreads out 3 members of CLG, and even in a 2 versus 3, it's Team Liquid who come up with the kills. Great use of terrain right there, and control over the battlefield from Phoenix.
Very strong player right now from Team Liquid. Oh, that's easily distorted out. Ace in the hole now onto Link. That actually hit Tibbers, so he's not going to get any assistance.
I love that
Tibbers.
Tibbers. Not only did he drop it right on for the damage, but in between him and LeBlanc to hit the chain. No answer. And even though they didn't get the kill, they chunked him out long enough to gain position on mid.
We'll probably see that happen consistently as well, Keith. Getting that ace in the hole onto Link if he can make sure the damage will stick and not just bounce off one of his bodyguards. 2 dragons in favor of Team Liquid. We are going to have Keith backing here. They may just have the control overall to be able to grab the next one. It wouldn't be imperative to, but it would be great to stop CLG from getting dragon number 1, especially 25 minutes towards that time into the game. Finished up Leandries. It looks like Zanya's will be next after the Sword Boots here for Benny. Like I was saying, they haven't gotten that group by Team Liquid for a nice equalizer hit by the team and the
Or-
synergy that they have. They're
Or the
working on
pick,
these grabs.
you know, or the chance to use this Sivir speed. When they've gotten into these fights, it's been around some sort of turret, whether it be a natural turret or an Azir one. Now, forcing out a dragon, they can easily group up, try and make use of the Sivir ult plus Rumble ultimate here. Teleport does come in. They're on both sides. Pincer movement. Smithy hits a bola.
Quas kind of reveals the whole gist here. He uncovers it all. They know they're in the den. Now they fight, and once they see the fight, they absolutely know how to assess it. Divide over to Benny. His ultimate's down, not really doing that much damage, and they're all forced to shift away from this one. That's going to be the passive of Link just hanging out in the middle of the fight, so they know Link is still close.
Dominate's really
now
low,
that it's
too.
down, they don't really have much of an idea about it. No jungle smite is going to come in. He's dead, and that's going to be going over to Quas for the team. Team Liquid pick up Dragon number 3, and they're just waiting these fights out perfectly and getting the positioning they want.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at that fight, because Quas with the teleport on the other side of the team so that he could come run through. And I believe that Rumble ultimate did not get many ticks off on pretty much anybody of Team Liquid. But yeah, nonetheless, Dragon secured there for Team Liquid after that fight. Good mid-game objective control.
And that's something Team Liquid's ready for. If you look at the inventories, your double AP comp, you have Benny, LeBlanc, the Locker of the Iron Solari is already finished. You have this shield. You just have more coming into these.
Here goes Quas. He runs through the whole team. They've got him trapped in the pit now. It's actually CLG who can sort of spread off. Rumble ultimate doesn't tick on anyone. Dominate walks through it. Phoenix walks right through it. If that gets no damage from a Rumble ult, then they are not going to win the fight. Immediately, Rengar does go down, and 4 versus 5, we know what the aftermath is.
So a big lead now being grabbed here by Team Liquid. They may not look at it or look like it in gold, but they are commanding these fights however they want them. Should have a turret here up onto Phoenix, absolutely, so they gain control into mid. It's such a great ability. You can kind of hang out there, you ward both sides, you're completely clear, and now you're on the other side of the map with pretty much a base of your own. It doesn't suck.
Nope. Speaking of being on the other side of the map here, Quas by himself, CLG, move everybody downwards. The only person cut off from the team is Benny, so can they get out of this one?
I don't know.
Teleport in, there we go.
The TP sticks, they are going to take it. Mid-wave crashing into the turret, so if this goes down to the favorite Team Liquid, they have a lot to push! Absolutely exploding Link! Not even confused about which one to go after because they were just piled on in the tri-brush. That is going to be the shifting stance forward, as well as Quas doing the slice and dice, cutting them down, and the damage is coming in from the top to the bottom. The same thing is happening to the health bars of CLG. Zeroed out with an ace, the bottom lane at 27 minutes.
That reminds me of The Wire. If you come at Xpecial, you best kill Xpecial. You cannot just jump on Xpecial as Rengar and let him live. If you're gonna jump on Xpecial as Rengar, you have to 100% him immediately. He got off 2 rotations of spells, survived the entire fight. That's the support you're initiating on. And Rengo is not a durable assassin jumping in like that, so.
You sold me, now I gotta watch it. I'll see this one more
I
time.
believe that was
What
an Omar quote. So they start out on Xpecial, they sit him there, he gets a full rotation off, and is able to flash out after the root ends.
Yeah.
It was a good Rumble ultimate this time around, though. They cut off the team, they had it sitting on the rooted guy. However, Quas has flash, jumps in onto double lift, and they have no escape. In come all of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Xpecial actually got that last stun once again onto Smithy. So that was 2 stuns he landed on him.
So that goes to show you what that 3,000 gold lead looked like, because they just put it into action. Now 4,000 as CLG was able to clean up some of their camps and gain some resources for themselves, but still, they're down quite a bit. 16-5. It seems like today every team that's kind of taken a lead, with last game 25-7 I think were the kills, they have just been making a bloodbath out of their opposing team, and right now CLG can't find out how to stand on their feet here, being pushed back into their turrets. They don't have 6. Those are Azir turrets being taken down. You can see they've dropped 3 turrets on the map for Team Liquid.
All right, well, let's see what the game plan is now for CLG. Because Option A and option B both failed already. Trying to do corner Azir, trying to initiate Onyx special. Not gonna work out. So it's all defensive plan. They're gonna wait for a good pick.
Oh, that could be it.
Is.
Keith, oh,
He's going down.
no, hot feet, a little too hot. Emperor's Divide comes out. I think Phoenix is gonna get locked on this one. Special runs in, giving out the stun from Pyromania, and he keeps everybody alive. No, Ethereal Chain hits. That means it's gonna be a dead Annie, a dead Special, and CLG get a pick that they needed so much.
Option A fails, option B fails, option Afromoo definitely wins. They get the hook again. Afromoo is single-handedly clawing his way back into this game, bringing CLG right up the mid lane. 2 turrets he's earned for the team.
Apparently there's no cooldown on option Afromoo. Played perfectly there.
Operation Afro Drop. They run straight down the mid lane, a huge chunk of gold, but they're still behind.
My word.
That's definitely something they needed. They are still behind, though. Keep that in mind, and it's going to have to be much more of the same for them. More picks and more chasing down. Then here we go. They're going for more of the same. They've got vision control. Great idea from CLG. They don't want to waste too much time, so they're starting recalls. Oh, cancel it.
Oh, no! Man, to the slaughter on that one as he walks into the brush. A face check from Quas. He goes down. CLG starting to turn up the heat on this one. Really starting to turn the game around. We saw, you know, as they were previously cursed, they would get themselves into positions where they kind of lull about and they don't do too much and give the other team time to gain ground. Now as Liquid, it seems like that still haunts them a little bit.
I mean, Liquid, they were trying to do something. Uh-oh. Flash Benny.
Once again to the mid lane. This is exactly where it happened last time. A possible deja vu coming in for Team Liquid. A very big scatter for CLG, though, with low health bars. They may not be able to reinitiate this fight. And they themselves think they have the upper hand, but get power played on by Team Liquid.
Yeah. Whew. Looks like a pretty good disorganized fight for CLG, but man, Keith is very, very strong. If you are focusing so much on taking away this initiation threat, trying to take down that Annie and get the Tibbers out of the way, this AD carry, Keith, not only with the Infinity Edge Phantom combo, but he's got the makings of the Bloodthirster already. Oh, double lift! He wants to 1v1 him! Got him! Woo! Backwards, too. Flips. Oh, no! Well, it's at the cost of the team.
He lives!
All right.
Dominate.
All right, definitely worth it.
Wow.
Definitely worth it. Keith with the over-the-back backflip up into double of space. Beautiful couple of shots there is all he has to pull off. Couple crits. And double lift goes down for trying to check the Baron. Let's take another look at the beginning, though, because this is a flash rumble slow onto Special. He hit both of them, though. Special flashes back in and still gets a good Tibbers off. Yeah. Emperor's Divide does get to gain some distance, and man, they just destroyed the remainder here. Keith auto-attacking freely, gets off the snipe as well, and there's nothing left here for CLG.
Those are the kind of, that's definitely a mistake of Link there we see in that replay. You're completely in vision, you're playing against the Caitlyn. She usually wants to hit the ace in the hole on LeBlanc. You can't back in the open. He did want to get back and he wanted to be able to participate in more fights, but making those small mistakes are definitely going to cost them.
As they walk up mid lane here with the Baron buff and start taking turrets, you start to wonder how much money did Team Liquid spend on Piglet? Because this guy, Keith, is definitely showing up today as well as yesterday. Very strong LCS appearance for him.
It has.
I'm sure that
not an easy
he'll
thing
definitely
for players.
have more requests to be a sub if teams need it, and people may be even looking to try him out. As for the game, though, good move up top here. You can see Team Liquid, everybody's swinging up top. Not only do they have Caitlyn for taking turrets, but Azir, the king turret taker, along with Baron buffed up minions. Let's see what CLG can actually do this time around. Last time, they had their backs against the walls. They were up against the turret. They got a beautiful hook onto Keith.
Yeah.
So if Afromoo can get that God play once again,
I don't know.
CLG might be able to earn themselves some more time in this game.
That was Keith's second death as a sub in the NALCS. He's 13-2 and 18 right now over his 2 games and 2 different champions. So it's going to be hard to catch this guy. He knows how to position and he knows how to play it. The rest of the team is also there to save him. We've seen Special many times being just a human Kevlar for people as he goes to throw in a stun.
Backing on wards.
Yeah, they
CLG have an opening maybe to make a play.
I don't know. They have that fast back, though.
Afro's looking for it and can't quite catch him.
They know they still can't toy with this. There is still potential for the DFG to do some big damage. Link to get that, which is, in his part, still trying to go heavy assassin. If he's still going to get blown up just as fast if he can't blow them up.
When you're in CLG's position, especially with the team that they've drafted, you have to always have your eyes open for that pick. You have to always be looking for your small chance at grabbing them off guard and then chasing them down. You have to grab someone, and then you have to chain that into objectives afterwards. But if they have to go 5-on-5 straight up with this Team Liquid squad, it is going to be rough.
Yeah, it's going to hurt. Phoenix is very big right now. So is Dominate. And his Nunu yesterday was pretty good in the jungle. Now 5-1-12 on to Jarvan. And he's got some items to keep himself tanky in the fight. Items far above and beyond Smithy right now. Already with the Randuin's finish, and he's sitting on that Giants belt. As you can see, Team Liquid pretty much in full control of CLG's side of the map. Not even really placing too many wards, but making sure that they are safe. We see one just to the left. And that's enough to keep them from any engagement here, as they see most of the members of CLG protecting now one of their last inner turrets.
Yep. And you can tell Team Liquid grouped up. They don't want anyone to get picked off by this Rengar Silver. So going up to siege the turret, use that Azir poke with Caitlyn.
That's just unfair. That's so painful.
That means that they get the turret. You chunk out
easily.
You chunk out the hook threat, then you get your turret now. It's so dangerous for CLG to defend this turret now. Really, their only hope is an Afro Mu hook, and if Afro's that low, you cannot stick around.
It's not home guarded either. He has the Righteous Glory, but he doesn't have home guard, so you could see an overdrive Blitzcrank coming out. That could have been a play. It could have been a surprise grab on somebody. Overdrive gives them a bit of speed, but they're not able to act on it here.
Really good deep wards. Whenever you siege up the secondary turrets on those sides, good to get a nice ring of vision to block off any flanks. CLG, they really have to attack from an odd angle to either get a surprise hook or to get a jump back onto Keith. Keith is a ridiculous damage source. The 4 early damage items right here. Classic pickup here. Keith's single target is unparalleled right now.
So what are we expecting here as Team Liquid approaches the base? Are they going to try to dive, or do they want to draw CLG out? They don't want that fight in CLG's base.
What'd you say? Team Liquid, what are they looking for? They're just trying to keep the same up. Everyone group up, play the safe game, go to siege once again. Knock down these turrets slowly. They don't have to make any crazy moves. Xpecial is ready with the counter engage. Dominate as well as Quas on the front line. They're just trying to peel for Keith. Operation is pretty much save Keith, keep him alive. If they can keep Keith alive and let him auto-attack.
Oh my God! That hit Link, that's huge. It means he can't be in and out as much as he wants. Afromu's in the front. The silence is already gone. It might be a low cooldown, but it's not as low. 40 seconds on the clock, and he won't be able to use it again.
Keith literally...
Double kill coming in for Azir, and they have control of this inhibitor turret.
Keith literally got 0 auto attacks off that fight, and Liquid still won. So, game plan out the window. Congratulations, Team Liquid, you're inside the base.
Yep. Thought it was going to be a little bit harder than that, but they got the fight they wanted. I do not think CLG should have been outside their base for that one.
Man, what an eye on Afro, though. Split-second opening, goes for it, grabs Keith, and they got a nice Rumble ultimate. But Azir is such a ridiculous champion at the moment. Scaled really well into this game. He was able to buy them the time to regroup, and Team Liquid still came out with a team fight win. Ridiculous. Doesn't look like there are going to be any openings here.
Let's look at this here. Offers so much.
Keith is on the ground channeling Ace in the hole, so Afromo sees his opportunity. They get the 80 carry out and the Rumble ultimate on top of 0 auto attacks out of him, but they're all funneled up, and he's done. Xpecial's got the rest of the team fight in his pocket. Everyone from Team Liquid can jump on the back of that Tibbers initiation.
Dragon number 4. Oh no, that's CLG coming in as we swipe back to the screen. My eyes deceive me. So they actually pick up their second one. Not going to be a huge boon for them. It's not tons of attack damage or anything. They've already received that, and it wasn't even that much at the time. So they're still trying to claw their way back into this matchup. A few more items have been created across the board. The Zanyas for safety on Benny. If it gets to that long fight, he needs to make a play, but We saw the Rumble ult kind of just ticking away on Team Liquid, and they happily walked through it, right through the channel in the jungle.
Baron going on fast. There is a ward on it. This is the opportunity for CLG. They gotta make it now. Oh, Baron's down already.
Not something to be messed with. Banshee's Veil's even on Team Liquid now. It's going to be quite hard for Link to explode any one that he wants to hit.
This is it. Last-ditch effort for CLG to try and defend Nexus. Team Liquid coming in, Baroned up, ready. Minion wave at the top side. Turret will fall immediately.
Yeah. Oh. Now he's got the home guards. They're already in the base. They're going with the minions onto the inhibitor, Kobe. This is looking grim. We're coming up to 40 minutes here on day 2. One of the longer games we've had as these teams are trying to get the win on both sides to stop that loss. The pull just missing Phoenix. He's able to get himself out of that nicely, understanding the range needed. 22-10. They're not able to get all the way through, but it's only one more inhibitor. It looks like they're going all the way around the horn before they try to go for the Nexus turret.
CLG had a small opening there. You could tell they were trying to take advantage because Special blew his tippers onto double lift while Spell Shield was still up. So they immediately pop Silver ult. Have Afro looking for the pick. Not able to get it this time around, though.
I like the build we got coming out of Expectral. Righteous Glory and Talisman of Ascension.
Gotta
go fast.
That is the whole point of any support. I'm coming in fast, and I just need to get my stun down.
We'll see if he uses it. See Special flying through the fight to initiate here. He doesn't have his flash. Well, he actually will have it up. It's just about to tick through. So I'll have that, too. CLG is going to have to be ready for anything possible on the engage. Great job overall as we look at some of the CS here now very late into the game. 291 to 218 in that mid lane is Phoenix on Azir. Obviously, you're going to be farming up a Storm, and he gave Link a hard time. But double lift, 406 to 338 as he's been trying to get himself big enough to bust some tanks and carry this game.
Yeah, and even everybody's full up on items. They also don't underestimate the power of these elixirs.
Right.
Towards the late game especially, everybody should be chugging those at every opportunity they get. Special's been doing that for a while now. Azir also able to grab one. Let's see here. Last lane left open. Team Liquid marching in by the books.
Oh, and they have a turret.
Bottom gonna go down shortly.
Effectively controlling with Baron and a small base behind them. Pushing onto the last turret. That goes down with really out any contest. They are going to hit this one. Again, the Rumble ult is just purely ticking. Practically on every member, they are starting to take a bit of the damage now over time. But that's going to be the grab. The dodge from Keith and the fancy feet. He doubles up on kills there. Only going to be Link and double lift left. And Team Liquid look to tarnish that record they have and bring themselves for 2-0 here in the North American Spring Split, the 2015 season. And this is day 3 for, game 3 in day 2 for Team Liquid. They take that win, and again, a dominating win at that.
Yes, and they are still in first place.
Yeah, they are. It's got to feel good. Even with the sub coming in, Keith has shown so well for the team. Able to pick up kills, able to pick up quite a bit for himself throughout these games. And like you said, probably showing for a few teams to get that free agent pickup.
Definitely made a good case for himself. Aframu doing his best.
Yeah.
A lot of really clutch hooks. Sometimes it was a little bit too fast even for his own team. He saw the opening, and Caitlyn's channeling her ult, but there was no damage to capitalize on the hook that he got. And so she was able to get out. Really good play there, though, from Team Liquid. Very solid opener, and once they got that lead, able to take it home. Azir plus Caitlyn, very, very solid. Great for sieging up and ending games.
Also saw these wins coming pretty much with different champions across the board since they were banned out on some of the ones they played yesterday. So the versatility from Team Liquid is definitely there. We already know top lane Quas has quite a champion pool, and the rest of the team showing that they can also stand tall in that aspect. Finalized score there for Keith in his sub of the NALCS, 15-2 and 22 on COG and Caitlyn. Fantastic play, and I'm sure the coach absolutely happy. Piglet to return next week with the team. We'll see some even more dominance, most likely. For CLG, subs as well. Not really subs, but their players to come back next week. Coach as well. We'll have a bit more structure on the team, and we'll see what they can start to bring out as they start the split next week again.
Yep. Zion Spartan will get to come back to the starting lineup next week. Benny did a great job this week, obviously, up in that top lane, holding it down for him. Coach
Smiles.
extremely happy.
Smiles all over. You have to be, especially for a coach. There's so much weight coming in on you this season as well. You're going to be that guy that's going to stand behind this newly branded team and hopefully do good. And that's actually the results they're coming up with now. The discussion here going over on CLG side. Looking at their composition, do you think there's anything we could have picked, chosen differently, or been able to synergize better with?
I mean, so I'm always really excited by these types of comps. So I just think a lot of the play could have been executed cleaner. They didn't get much out of the Rengar. Like we saw the early Rengar gank when he first got his level 6, not able to get anything out of it. It never really had that presence in the game. He was kind of always running.
Always running indeed, not getting too many of the Rumble ults that they needed to come in. But like we said, CLG still has a lot of changes to go through here. They're a team that a lot of people have always seen and have produced good results towards the end of the season. They find their way back to the top. We'll see if they can do it this season. Kind of the moniker for all teams right now is if you have subs, take the first week slow, come into the next one. I feel like CLG had a different idea coming into this one. So it might sting a bit. It might sting a bit. They still had a pretty strong roster here.
Yeah, they had a pretty good showing. Link there on the LeBlanc, doing his best as well. One of the last times we'll get to see Deathfire Grasp. Didn't really have a big impact on this game, but
pouring oil on the fire, aren't you?
Thank you, Deathfire Grasp.
Thank you.
You will be missed.
For all
the good times.
For all the good times. And we actually saw that they were not forced into that. We saw Link building the Deathfire, knowing they had to just return the same amount of explosive damage or get the picks that they needed. If Aframu wasn't going to hit the grab, then somebody needed to explode immediately so somebody could get out. Or Link, rather.
Looking for that damage. But yeah, a couple early Rumble ults missing and a couple early Rengar ults missing, both of those. So if you don't really get the ball rolling for these high damage, high mobility compositions that need to start getting that income really early, then it's just kind of the more solid team gets the win out later. Much easier for Team Liquid to execute.
Team Liquid definitely executing today, able to get their second win, now first place in the LCS. That's got to feel really good.
Number 1 all by themselves now. They're the only 2-0 team, I think.
Man, holding that top spot. Everybody had the chance to do it today, right? Get your wins. Well, not everybody. If you lost, then you didn't have too much. Have those 1-2s, 1-1s. Coast was able to get a win today as well, as we were getting an interview set up as well for this, taking a little time. But with the game that we saw today, there's still been versatility. You and Jat were talking about it, or you talked about it yesterday. Jat talked about it today on the analyst desk, that we are seeing these different strategies, and teams are playing where they will go for Dragon and stick with that, or they don't have to go for Dragon, as we saw TSM kind of play around the fact that they just had this death ball to get kills, and they would pretty much play around you, ring around the Rosie on the map. Positioning and teleports have been amazing from teams as well.
And I like the adaptation, too. Not only by the teams that are trying to use the different strategies, but also defending against them. We saw, again, the exact same strategy that Winter Fox used yesterday to just crush. Try to use it today, not having any of it. They just had a couple of wards in the river to see the roam up from the Sivir duo lane, and all of the extra attention mid just fizzled out.
So we see,
and we are setting up
Keith and Xpecial getting ready for the interview, chatting with Dash. We're gonna get the idea, how Keith felt. What's the deal like being on the NA stage? As I said before, Core JJ had tweeted out, and a lot of the 80 carries always do when they're new. They're kind of like outspoken. You'll just find that in 80 carries, and they're saying, "I am," because double lift.
Goes
they're
with
a perfect
being
example.
the carry.
Goes with being the carry. Is that I am really stressed out. I don't know what to do coming in this game. Sometimes you'll even see, if you look really close in Champion Select, that they're shaking a little bit. It's just a shake. It's not like they're, oh my God, I'm nervous. But it's just that instance, you're not used to it a lot, and they're shaking. You're like, wow, this really has an effect on these guys. But to come out in a 15-2 and 22 first showing in the NALCS, very promising. And I'm sure Piglet can put up some of the same scores, so they got to be happy about who's returning as well.
Yeah, Keith seems to be a very relaxed guy as well. Very confident as well.
When I was, have you watched Piglet stream at all? When you actually watched him play, when I did, I was like, how does he move so smooth? I actually am really interested to see how he does in the NALCS, because he can position himself so well, and it just feels different watching him. He knows what he's doing. World-class player. First-hand account of that battle, we're going to go ahead and send it over to the analyst desk.
Thank you, guys. I am here with the bot lane of Team Liquid, Keith, and a special, fabulous performance out of you guys this entire weekend, starting 2-0 at the top of the table. That's got to feel good, especially coming out strong in week 1.
Yeah, we actually only had about less than 2 days of practice. So initially, the first day, we were getting destroyed by every single team. We were losing to amateur teams. We're losing to our own academy team, even without Keith. So we were super demoralized. But as we just practiced a little bit more, we actually got a lot better, and I think we showed that we're a pretty solid team right now.
And Special just mentioned you only had a couple days of practice, Keith. What was that like coming into this organization with the kind of pressure that you have on your shoulders, filling in for a player like Piglet, and only having 2 days to prepare?
Oh yeah, it was definitely surreal, and there was this kind of pressure, like how would you play compared to Piglet, and there was this pressure, but gradually, I learned to ignore it and just play how I play.
Oh, and you played fantastically. 15-2 and 23, a 19 KDA over both days. And an interesting statistic that we have just to throw out there is that 476 people decided to start you in their fantasy leagues, which is only 0.02% of people playing fantasy. But man, I bet they are happy right now with the points that you racked in for them. So I have to commend you on your play. Something that I want to ask you more pointedly towards your style as an ADC. I know that you had a stint where you moved from ADC, then you actually made a showing as support in the challenger scene, and now back to ADC. So what has playing multiple roles or both roles in the bot lane done for you as an AD carry?
Oh yeah, playing support actually kind of improved my skill as an AD carry. I know what supports do. I know when they can go aggressive and how to lane, when to roam, where to ward. So I know how to play around that vision, and made me a better AD carry overall.
And Special, bringing in somebody who does have that knowledge, did that make it much easier for you to quickly adapt and kind of get past like the minutia of the bot lane mechanics and just say, hey, we both know what's going on. Let's focus on our synergy over this couple days that we have?
Yeah, actually, we were doing really well as a bot lane, mainly because we could both speak English. And compared to Piglet, yeah, he was, Piglet's really strong mechanically, but not being able to speak the same language was actually a huge detriment for us. But with Keith, obviously, we can talk a lot more, just explain strategies. I can tell him, hey, don't die. I'm roaming, don't die. And, he'll listen, and we actually did really well. I was a bit skeptical at first because we actually tried out Keith a long time ago, about a month ago, before we got Piglet. And let's just say it wasn't the greatest showing ever. And today and yesterday, he did really well, so I'm really proud of him. So good at Keith.
Thanks.
Heck yeah, I like that. I want to harken back to the interview that Jat had with Steve before the game, where he asked him how the transition was, or what the transition was like for the team from his end. From the player perspective, how has that transition been going from Curse, this very set-in-stone organization, even just down to the fact that you have diehard Curse fans, over to the newly minted Team Liquid?
So our biggest fear was that the fans that were following Team Curse, they would just, be really upset that we move organizations. But we wanted to remind them that we're the same players, we have the same management, everything's the same. Only the name's different, and it means that it's a different organization, different clothes. But other than that, we're the same people. And I think it really showed. Just yesterday, we had a lot of fans come out and just, do pictures of us and just really reassured us that, our fans are our fans, and it doesn't matter what our team name is, but they're here to support us. And I think we're giving them a good showing. So I think they're happy, and we're happy, and we're going to make us look really good as we go into the rest of the season.
Keith, again, I have nothing but adoration or compliments to throw your way because of your fantastic play this weekend. So I want to ask you, after the first game yesterday, you all played fantastically. You had a great scoreline. What did that do in terms of your confidence level to come in today, and play a little bit more aggressively? At some, we saw you flashing the blue wall to kill LeBlanc, snipe LeBlanc with, a Caitlyn Q and things like that. That's something that we don't see very often out of players who are on the LCS stage for the first time.
Oh yeah, the first game, our comp, thanks to Peter, boosted my confidence a lot. So this game, coming into it, I had a lot more confidence. I knew I could play aggressive, so I went for those plays.
Was there a little bit of a fear though yesterday with the comp, knowing that it's on you in terms of the damage output? You definitely have the entire team backing you, but if you don't have pretty immaculate play as the solo damage carry on the team, things might not work out too well.
Oh yeah, there's definitely pressure on me, but other players would choke, but I actually have experience performing under pressure, so I think I did fine.
Yeah, you did quite well. Especially, I do want to jump into a replay about 31 minutes into the game because I want to know what was going through your head. We're going in the mid lane. You're getting chased down, and you end up flashing a blitz hook back into the team in a 4v5 to initiate. So, walk me through the comms, your individual decision making in choosing this team fight.
Okay, so we actually just got caught mid. Keith got hooked earlier and we lost a turret, and then Phoenix got hooked as well and we lost another turret, and we were on our back foot. I think Reaction just died right before that, and my thought was, all right, I need to get a rebel up, I need to dodge blitz hook, and I need to initiate and hopefully stall enough time for Renekton to come back in at TP back. So here I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna probably die anyways, just try to do something. My team can win this fight, great. And then we actually won on this fight because we were so far ahead, but it was a really risky play, but I felt like I was probably gonna die anyways, so let's try to do something. And my biggest fear was that I don't do anything in that fight, and we die anyways. So my biggest goal was just to try to do some damage, try to do some AoE, and just not die instantly.
Now, it's been commented already that it looks like Team Liquid is performing with so much more cohesion this season than the last. With the addition of Piglet and the strength of showing that you've already had, how do you feel the rest of the season is going to be going for you guys?
Well, I think we're doing really well, and as we go on in the season, I think we'll do even better. And I think we should think about a name change to Team Solid, since we're just playing so solid right now. But yeah, that's something we have in our minds. And then we're just trying not to get overconfident. We have a really hard week next week with C9 and TSM. So if we can have a good showing there, and especially with only Piglet being back for only a few days, it'll be a hard games, but if we can do well or even win those games, I think we'll look really, really good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are curious, so I do want to touch on the Piglet subject real quick because he is coming back. What has your experience been like with Piglet, and how do you think the dynamic in the team will, I want to say change only because what we've seen is this week with Keith. I know you guys have already been practicing with Piglet, but what can we expect to see differently next week, bringing in, Piglet, that touted mechanical god in the bot lane?
So Piglet, he's, like you said, he's a mechanical god, and we want to bring that, we want to showcase that, and we're going to do a lot of comps that will revolve around the AD, but not every comp will be like that. And I don't think we'll be too different. I think we played solid this week, and it's team play that really wins League of Legends. It's not the single player, it's the team. And we need to showcase that even more. Like we had some pretty rough edges in these last two games. We got caught a few times. We lost Baron yesterday just because we died trying to dive the fountain, stuff like that we need to get out of our system. And with Piglet, we're still gonna work on that. But then we also still have another factor now that we don't all speak the same language or as fluent in the same language. But it's something that we are working really hard on. And with Piglet, I think we're gonna do even better. And especially against C9 and TSM, mechanical skill will matter to some extent.
All right, Keith, and finally, last question to you is, what's next on the docket for you? After an incredible showing here in the LCS, where are you looking to go with your future?
I think I'm just going to wait. After this, I'll be going back to Liquid Academy, playing the Challenger scene, but I can't play the first round this Tuesday. So after Tuesday, I'll be practicing with them again and seeing my options.
All right, well, again, a fantastic performance by the both of you, the entirety of the team. Congratulations on the 2-0 start. We are going to have to take a broadcaster cooldown while Cloud9 and Gravity load in for our next match. And the North American LCS continues in just 3.5.
Tony's mom
has got it going on.
She's all I want, and I've waited for so long.
It was Phoenix dropping right before. Here come the shots. Keith trying to focus down a Link. That was a headshot. Can he get one more? Peacemaker.
Grab number 2 misses, and Phoenix!
Oh, Phoenix right in the middle of the fight with shifting sands. So if this goes down to the favorite team, Liquid, they have a lot to push. Absolutely exploding Link. Oh my God! That hit Link, that's huge. It means he can't be in and out as much as he wants. Aframu's in the front. The silence is already gone.